This is the cargo ship, one of the most forgotten robberies in all of Jailbreak, and honestly, it's kinda crazy because at one point this thing was actually one of the most efficient ways to make money in the entire game. But now, no one even goes for it. To understand why this happened, we actually have to go back to when it was released. On June 7th, 2020, Badimo added a game-changing robbery to the game. The cargo ship was the first robbery on water and also was a moving robbery, which meant that even if nobody robbed the ship, it would still close. The robbery started at the beach near the train station and went all the way to Alcatraz Island before leaving the map. But the reason this robbery is so cool at the time was because of the live event. You see, the live event had just taken place, giving an all-new map expansion with water, making it a popular and commonly explored place. But an issue would arrive in the actual robbery gameplay. In order to rob it, players had to get a helicopter, which takes time and was extremely difficult because there was no aerial spawners back then. And if you didn't have the Black Hawk, which costed $1 million, you'd have to get into a police building using a keycard or climb all the way to the top of the bank to use the little bird, assuming you even owned it. And that right there is the first issue. Because most robberies in Jailbreak are quick and accessible. You drive up, you go inside, and you complete something, and then you're done. But the cargo ship requires setup, it requires specific vehicles, and it takes significantly longer just to start the robbery. And then once you're there, it doesn't change at all. You pick up a crate, fly back, drop it off, and repeat the exact same process over and over again with almost no variation, no progression within the robbery itself, and very little interaction with other players, making there be almost no PvP integration in the robbery. But when it first released, that didn't really matter. If you knew what you were doing, you could consistently bring in cash with very little risk. And since the robbery was so far away from everything else, most players weren't contesting with it, which made it even more reliable. And like I said, it was hard for cops to stop you, and the developers leaned into that. On June 2nd, 2021, they buffed the cargo ship unbelievably hard. In one cycle of the robbery in the map, you can make $15,000 to $20,000. This was the best robbery in the game. People were hyped about it and it would find its way into every single grinding guide in the game. But something didn't feel right. It felt like the cargo ship was only fun for its money and not the actual gameplay. And just a year later, a major hit would be taking the cargo ship's popularity. Hyperchromes were added. Now, if you didn't know what hyperchromes are, these are some of the rarest items in Jailbreak. You can get them randomly from robberies. Each robbery is tied to a specific color, and players grind these constantly because they stack, level up, and become extremely valuable over time. I mean, whole channels are dedicated to this. It's a huge thing. With every robbery, your pity percentage gets higher, and eventually, if you grind enough, you will get one. But that's not all. There is a microscopic chance of you getting it from luck. And this is how the fandom begun. And to the average Jailbreak player, this might not seem like a major issue, and it isn't. It's fun and drives more players into the game. Like I said, there are whole channels dedicated to this stuff, but the issue is actually much more simple than you realize. Every other robbery in the game has a hyperchrome except the cargo ship, and this is where the cargo ship gets left behind. So you're left with a robbery that has a unique idea, but boring, repetitive gameplay mechanics, along with missing the hardest and most popular progression system in the game, hyperchromes. But this was not the death of the robbery. It still gave out the most cash in the game, right? On February 2nd, 2024, the devs made a decision to nerf the robbery, cutting the robbery profits in half, as well as buffing several other robberies. Not only getting rid of the only thing it had going for it, but also buffing other robberies to have more possible cash, as well as being more convenient, safer, and less time-consuming, making the appeal for it non-existent. Cargo ship became so forgotten that in fact just a couple months before this, with the backlash of the robbery system, the devs made the cargo ship unrobbable if it was the only robbery still open in its robbery group. Now it wasn't worth flying across the map. Now it wasn't worth doing the same repetitive loop, and players started going back to robberies that were faster, closer, and more engaging. And when you combine everything together, it makes perfect sense. Cargo ship is basically forgotten. It's repetitive, it's isolated, it's lost its efficiency, and it never got integrated into the newer systems like hyperchromes. It just didn't evolve with the rest of the game. Now it's just sitting out there as this leftover robbery that used to be one of the best ways to grind, but it just couldn't keep up with everything that came after.